What do you think of when talking about the Met Gala? A gathering of the most influential public figures, or a flamboyant party where the top fashion houses flaunt their sophisticated designs? As its name suggests, to attend the event, one must pay and pay a lot to contribute to the fund. However, only fashion houses could purchase entrance tickets, whose price would range from $20,000 to $30,000. And then public figures could only attend if they were invited and costumes sponsored by these brands. That's why it's said that the Met Gala has surpassed Oscar fashion-wise, and for years, this has been undoubtedly the biggest party of the most prestigious celebrities on Earth. As K-pop has just expanded its territory to the international market, meaning the influences of K-pop stars are not proportionate to Western celebrities. Their having the chance to attend the Met Gala is one of the biggest milestones for idols. That explains why each year only 1 to 2 K-pop stars are invited to the party, yet despite belonging to the minority group in the most buoyant party of Hollywood, they have never failed to impress people and make headlines. Some are even assessed to have slayed the costumes theme way better than Western artists, and managed to be the topic of heavily polarized discussions. Number 1. Jennie Met Gala 2023. Swiftly hopping on the archive fashion trend, Jennie has recently made an impressive debut at Met Gala, with a design inherent in the 1990 fall-winter collection of Chanel. Being an extremely influential muse who has single-handedly increased sales multiple folds and helped Chanel sell out bloodily expensive items, it is no doubt that Jennie could have picked whatever she wanted for this historic appearance. Yet, to the surprise of everyone, she opted for a simple white pleated mini dress highlighted by the signature camellia flower. While this might come across as basic and boring to a certain extent, Jennie's look actually held significant implications through subtle yet profound details. The first uniqueness of this dress, as mentioned earlier, is the origin of Chanel's 1990 fall-winter collection, not only making it the only version left of the design, but also a precious item that has been conscientiously preserved in Chanel's archives for over 30 years. The second specialty comes down to her reincarnation of the almost identical styling from the 1990 runway by using the same pair of black gloves, black see-through tights, and the black choker. However, as clever as Jennie is, she has spiced up the look with a twist of a South Korean element, changing the black hairband to a braided hairstyle which appears to be the modernized version of the famous traditional hairstyle, oyomori, often worn by South Korean ancient queens. Still, opinions saying that her look was forgettable and unbearably boring remain popular. According to netizens, as Karl Lagerfeld has been famous for the juxtaposing spirit embedded in the iconic black suit, and black glasses going hand in hand with a gender-fluid hairstyle, and eye-dazzling accessories, the fact that Jennie carried herself with such a predictable and basic dress was disappointing, especially considering the context where most celebrities attending the event turned up in their most flamboyant costumes. Jennie's look appeared even duller when standing in the same frame with them. Number 2. Jackson Wang Met Gala 2023. Attending Met Gala 2023 along with Jennie, Jackson Wang also received lots of attention. And coincidentally, he was also met with heavily inverse opinions from netizens about the outfit he wore. Considering the theme in honor of Karl, obviously Jackson Wang perfectly served with a powerful black suit, accessorized by a pair of mysterious black glasses and black leather gloves, a signature combo often seen at Karl Lagerfeld. However, that didn't make Jackson's look predictable, as besides paying a considerable homage to Karl through the style embodiment, he also smartly glorified the significance of Louis Vuitton through the iconic floral symbol on his vest. Jackson also spiced up the look with his emo gothic color through the juxtaposing hair, and most creatively, the subtle act helping increase the natural charisma without the need for many accessories. His taking a sip before entering the event, just as how he has been doing throughout his concerts. Yet, this was also the thing upsetting netizens, as some believed he was being a bad model for young fans, and using alcohol as an excuse to cover up the basic and dull Met Gala outfit. Especially when standing next to other stars, the outfit of Jackson made him look like an ordinary staff member, rather than a world-class star sponsored by Louis Vuitton. Number 3. Johnny Soo Met Gala 2022. Amid fans' confusion as to why Johnny suddenly flew to the States without NCT 127's members, he made a thrilling attendance at Met Gala 2022 and had everyone cue the confetti because the occasion deserved it. Growing up in the States, watching his respected idols attending this event, Johnny said he was extremely thrilled to be there in person and done a fun take on the party's theme, Gilded Glamour. In the mysteriously glamorous design of Peter Do, he was effortlessly glorified by an ultra-long satin black tailcoat, which low-key reminded people of overcoats often worn by kings, a matching suit, and of course, sans shirt to add the Johnny effect. With this old-timey theme, Johnny and Peter Do also incorporated another subtle modern twist, the white line running throughout the suits, breathing into the formal, extravagant suit a sportswear spirit of the modern time. However, compared to his look to Western celebrities and the main theme essentially focused on the Gilded Age, a 30-year period during which industrialists and real estate magnates saw their fortunes ascend to staggering heights thanks to the rapid expansion of trains, factories, and urban centers, thus making the outfits around this time fairly exuberant. Johnny's look was said to be rather underwhelming and off-topic. Compared to other celebrities' looks, some said his costume stood out to be even more disappointing, and considering how this was also his very first individual schedule in his homeland, even fans weren't happy about this. Number 4. Rosé Met Gala 2021. Being the very first Blackpink member to attend Met Gala in 2022, Rosé garnered lots of attention for this precious opportunity. Unfortunately, what made her the most talked about name that night didn't have much to do with this title, but rather how she had turned up in an outfit attracting extremely polarized opinions from netizens. Attending Met Gala 2021, whose theme was in America, a lexicon of fashion, which mightily revolved around the state's immense influence on the fashion world, Rosé marked her debut with a design by Saint Laurent, the brand to which she has been a global ambassador for years. At first sight, it might be hard to tell the correlation between her look and Met Gala 2021's theme, but similar to how the true beauty often lies in the most subtle details, Rosé's dress actually paid tribute to this theme in the most delicate way. Rather than going exuberant but predictable, Rosé opted for a little black dress, one of the most influential items representing the social shifts during the 1930s in the States. Back in the day, little black dress intricately traced the bold curve of social history across the 20th and 21st centuries, retaining its peak popularity throughout the Great Depression thanks to sweetly bridging its ubiquity, versatility, and economy with the contemporary desire of women for affordable yet elegant clothing. Transcending the test of time, the little black dress has become a symbol endlessly appropriated and translated, making it part of American culture until this day. Thanks to the profound yet subtle implication through the YSL's dress, Rosé was assessed by many critics to be among the top celebrities best portraying the event's spirit. Simultaneously, as the dress also complemented her figure, the slender shoulders, and especially the tiny ant waist, the public in general also sent her lots of compliments for the Met Gala debut. This was most easily seen through how she quickly went viral on Twitter with a brief appearance in a 30-second long video, which amounted to over 5 million views in fewer than 24 hours. Yet, as I've said, this simple dress was actually not that simple since it drew extremely polarized reactions from netizens. Aside from flattering words, Rosé also received lots of complaints saying that such a precious opportunity was diluted since the dress was so forgettable. Others said Rosé bored them out again for playing too safe, just like the way she had carried herself throughout promotions of Blackpink, sticking to only things that guaranteed her a good look despite their being extremely uncreative. Number 5. CL Met Gala 2021. Attending the Met Gala at the same time with Rosé, CL interestingly received similar polarized waves of attention, yet for the totally opposite reason to Rosé. Some said her look wisely portrayed the American spirit, complemented by a soft kiss of Asian aura extremely well. Yet others believed her outfit was nothing but an unacceptable vulgar image and a devious attempt to attract sensations for the sake of her American dream. being invited by Alexander Wang, a fashion house that has been famous for the cool, grungy, and utilitarian design which she describes as models off duty. CL flaunts her badass beauty in a majestic design that captures the best of both worlds: liberality from the West and the subtleness from the East. Thanks to the major use of denim for her exalted overcoat, the material stands as a daily staple in both America's history and ideology, as well as holds a significant spot about the American spirit. Rugged individualism, informality, and democratic respect for hard work, it wasn't hard to spot the tight correlation between CL's costume and the theme of Met Gala 2021. Layering this modernized gown outside a signature undergarment of Alexander Wang, which was explained to be a staple of dinner parties in the States, CL perfectly captured the liberal essence of the country without having to put on too much of a sophisticated outfit. Some also said CL had vividly reminded them of the famous campaigns of Calvin Klein's denim and undies during the 1990s, which astoundingly succeeded in portraying the fashion sense of the States. What drew attention even more was how CL delicately made an emphasis on her Asian roots, with an outfit designed by an American fashion house for an American-themed fashion event. The first subtle detail highlighting the spirit was her hime cut, accompanied by the simplified version of the traditional Japanese hairstyle often seen around the 1930s. Then her dress featured a strong spirit of South Korea, as it reminded people of the country's traditional hanbok, especially through the single ribbon knot on the vest. Still, some weren't happy with her attendance, as they believed the outfit was unnecessarily vulgar, especially when she intended to incorporate the elegant aura of the East into her costume like that. Others also didn't like how CL seemed to push her reputation in the Western market, which she had been trying in vain to conquer since 2016, through this contentious marketing rather than by the power of her music. So, how do you feel about the Met Gala costumes of these idols? Which one do you think really exuded class at the Met Gala? And why do you think they always dress more simply and low-key compared to Western celebrities?